Only Loser Litter, you have that. You have a whole lot of other things that you do initiative with reduce, reuse, recycle. But if you could just say a little bit of how do I say, what do you do and why you do it? Well, there's just not enough time, Sarah. So why don't you just kind of list some of the things that you're working on, some of the things that you're very passionate about this election. What's on your mind, you firebrand you?
I'm interested in change in North County. And I feel like it kind of started for me with my personal business. I tattoo for a living. So in 2014, 2015, my boss, mentor, and I started going to Vista City Council meetings to start the wooing process, I guess, of being allowed to move our business down the street from where we live, right? So the city was creating this downtown specific plan, you know, this arts and culture district with their downtown specific plan. And I'm like, well, I'm a working artist. I bought a house with my art. I literally have people hit me up all day wanting me to turn their ideas into things. So that's what I do. Okay. So we went to all these meetings for over a year, and we were successful in our endeavor to convince them to add one gallery tattoo shop into their permitting process, like in their downtown specific plan, because that's the way municipalities do it. They write plans and grand visions of things. And so we were able to get that written in. And then when the competitive process began, so that was like step one. And then the competitive process began to submit the application, and we came out victorious, and we got our tattoo shop moved down the street from our house, you know. And also it was a personal goal of mine that I freaking hate driving. Okay. I suck at, I'm like not good at it. I'm really bad at driving. I'm just not good at it. So I bought a home close to the downtown of Vista, and like my plan as I get older is to not drive. Like I can do everything I need to do on foot. So that's kind of my plan. Like it's safer for me and everyone in the world. So
that is, well, you know, that is awesome. And I think, you know what, I would like to just, speaking about your house, I think we would just like to jump into, when I call this woman a firebrand, I just want to show you all a clip. We have screen sharing capabilities now, Sarah, so excited. So Venus, I think we have the news queued up when, you know, Sarah's house. Can we see if we can share that? We got to do it now. She's talking about her house. And it makes more sense. It doesn't make any sense, put it this way, but I see why, if you're that close to downtown, why they were also trying to give you a hard time. See, full story. Okay, Venus, let me shut up. Let's see it.
New tonight, a family in Vista says the city is violating their First Amendment rights by citing them for signs placed in their yard. Fox 5's Liberty Zabala is live outside that home to explain why the family says they will not pay the fines. Liberty.
Well, Kathleen, you can see their signs right here in their front yard. The homeowners here say they're expressing their freedom of speech, and they refuse to take them down.
I am really, really interested in civic engagement, local politics. I feel really strongly that all politics is local, and so I have opinions about the direction of my community, and this is how I share my opinion.
If you wanted to know the political views of Chad and Sarah Spinks, you wouldn't have to look further than their front yard. But it's these signs with phrases like Black Lives Matter and one supporting local candidates that got them into trouble with the city of Vista.
At this point, we've received two fines. The first one for $125, the second for $250. Up to $1,000.
The Spinks say they shouldn't have to pay, but the city of Vista says it fined the homeowners for violating its municipal code for exceeding the amount and size of signs allowed on a property. The city released a statement saying in part, quote, "The city does not regulate the content of signs, but rather the size, location, type, and other special considerations." It went on to say these temporary signs may not be erected, installed, placed, or maintained by any person prior to 35 days preceding any federal, state, or local election. But the Spinks say the fines are a violation of their First Amendment rights and will fight to keep them up.
I stand convicted that this is an issue that I want to fight for and fight for all my neighbors.
And the Spinks also say that code enforcement officers came to their home after they received a complaint. Now, the city says that it did issue several warnings before issuing the citations. For now, live here in Vista, Liberty Zavala, Fox 5 News.
Well. As Vista turns over there, Sarah, as Vista turns, I mean, awesome. Now you got to give us the update. What's going on with that, Sarah?
So last Tuesday night was our Vista City Council meeting, and I think the final day of Constitution Week in the city of Vista, which the irony is not lost on me. So in that Constitution Week proclamation, our city council, who all voted unanimously to affix their signatures to, they asked citizens to fight diligently to protect their freedoms because once lost, rights may never be regained. So I was inspired. So I made sure to call in during that Vista City Council meeting and just let them know how inspiring they were. And it was great because I sat through the whole meeting. And sitting through the meeting, the council member who actually amended the sign code on March 8th, 2016, Council Member Amanda Rigby, she made the motion to amend the residential sign code, all their sign code. And she's also the one who brought this Constitution Week proclamation to the council to affix their signatures to. So I let her know how grateful I was for that, how inspiring all of that really was to me, that they asked me to fight for my freedom. So I did. So thanks. And I also, while I sat through that meeting, one of the discussion items that evening was about storm drains. And so she did a really deep dive into municipal code. So that also gave me an opportunity to ask them to do as deep of a dive on sign code. Because if you're going to do deep dives on municipal code, let's treat it fairly. So I asked her to do as deep of a dive on municipal code. And I also asked that they create communication that lets residents know what the sign code will be once amended to be constitutional, because during their storm drain conversation, they're going to create communication that really lets residents know what their responsibilities and rights are regarding storm drains. So if we're going to do that for storm drains, let's do it for our constitutional rights as well.
Awesome. And truly, like Venus's new word she gave me, Sawubona, I see you. And it really does take us working together as a village to be able to change the codes and the policies. And, you know, it's unsexy stuff a lot of times because, you know, I saw you in at another virtual meeting and you were the secretary and you just like, you know, we're doing a lot of work. We all need to join together as community to move forward. And you have consistently been doing the work. And my hat is off to you, and I'm glad things are moving in a more favorable manner than them trying to. And I have to say this, one of the things that Sarah said online, I think it was a post, how did you say they were going to remove the signs from you, Sarah, from
my cold, dead hands? So in my past life, my college major was literature and writing. So I really enjoy the written word. And you know what? You don't even need to go to college to do that. Like, honestly, reading and writing is a skill. It's true what they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. Get creative. These people in government, a lot of them, let's just be real, they lack creativity. They don't think like artists. So I can be agile. I can move around them in ways they don't even know how I move. I move in my way. I am true to myself. And yeah, that's what I'll do. And I just keep getting better at tech stuff. That's also something they move really slow on. So we have a lot of tools at our hands as activists, as agitators, as jammers of the system. We need to do it. And you know what? I get mad and I use curse words and stuff, but it was really fun to call into council and just be so gracious and have so much gratitude and so thankful. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Rigby, for putting this Constitution Week out here and inspiring me. Thank you. Thank you. Because that's how she talks while she's taking your rights away. Get out of here.
This is why we call her a firebrand. And I really do appreciate that kind of energy, especially when let's get a little bit and talk about a little trash. I mean, I liked what you said, and I know you have said this once, you said it 1,000 times, but I do want to share again, one of my big things, people keep saying, okay, we're gonna wait for the government to do this, and we're gonna wait for that. You just start, you just jump in and you see a need, you see an organization, you see a person, you see Venus Johnson, who's an awesome human being, a young person that's into politics. You take that person under your wing and you go, okay, I'm gonna pave my way because I'm gonna be old one day and I want someone to take care of me. Purely selfish, I know, but it's really also helping that younger generation excel and pave the way. So with Only Losers Litter, could you just tell people how you started? I know you've said it once, you've said it 1,000 times, and your impetus on why you do it, because it's a great story.
It's a fun story. I feel like I could tell it every day. So my son I think he was in first grade or kindergarten. I'm taking him to school. And as you have to park up the street and walk. I think all the parents know how that works. So you have to walk your kid to the gate. I walk my kid to the gate every day. I'm just walking through trash, like a sea of trash on the sidewalk. And I'm just like, what kind of message is this sending to all these children? Like, that this is acceptable? This is unacceptable. And you know what? Any side of the aisle, who out there is like, yay, we need more litter? No one. So we can all connect around this idea. There's not one person out there. I mean, maybe there is. They could surprise me. But nobody is like, yay, more litter. Yay, I love litter. And you know what? That's not what kids need to be seeing. Just like they don't need to see other garbage going on there in the world. We protect them from so many things, but we're just driving by garbage everywhere. We're walking our kids through garbage. So I started collecting all the garbage on these walks to the gate. And I started just like collecting it in my driveway. And then we created a Halloween themed pop-up art show called Trash is Scary. And we made installations from all the trash, like just made weird, like I made a giant spider. My mom created this weird ghost rider out of trash. Like, it was weird. And we created all these decrees. Like, I wrote out all these ideas about trash and how we can connect around the idea that trash is not good and let's do better. And I stapled them all to the outside of the building so people could read about it. And then I don't even think it was me that came up with Only Losers Litter. I think it was my friend Morgan. So we were like, that's great. We'll stick with that. So Only Losers Litter then had what became a program, really, of my art space. And out of Only Losers Litter, so my friend Alexis, my friend and client, she invited me to lunch one day, and at lunch she said, oh my God, like, I just love what you're doing and I just want to be more involved. I just want to do something. What could I do? And I was like, do you want to be the director of this? And she was like, yes, oh my God, I hate trash too. And I was like, okay, you're the director. And that kind of goes along with something else that I feel really strongly about. Like, all you can do really in this life is lead by example. So my example led Alexis to, being inquisitive, being curious enough, being courageous enough to ask me and put herself out there like, hey, I want to be in charge of something. I was like, be in charge then. And I feel like that, like, I strive in my own, like, I think as a leader, you can always grow. Like, that's a good skill. Like, if you have as a leader, you're always trying to bring more people in, because we live in a very communal world. We're all part and we're all connected. So we have to bring more people in to be leaders, because when we have a lot of leaders, it makes the work lighter. We have to. There's no other option. So Alexis became the director of Only Losers Litter. We screen printed a bunch of superhero capes with Only Losers Litter. We have signs, we have stickers, we just, branded it. So we meet up once a month and we clean up trash. Since COVID has happened, our trash walks have become a little sleepier because it's kind of weird. I want my first thing is like, everybody has to be safe. And, if people don't feel comfortable cleaning up trash during a global pandemic, I am not going to fault them for that. So our trash walks have been a little bit more mellow lately, but we still meet up. So, and the whole idea is to create a spectacle around the activity. So we're wearing superhero capes, we're dressed wild, we're wearing weird hats. I have a face shield, so I look like Daft Punk. So I just look strange when I'm doing it. And people, they want to stop me and talk to me about it. And I give them my whole spiel. I tell them what I'm about, and you can't disagree.
Yeah, because trash is, well, it's trash, and you pick it up. And I got so excited with Sarah coming on. This is no way an endorsement, by the way, of my campaign with Sarah. This is just a dear friend of mine, and that we are just talking about reduce, reuse, recycle, and that I'm having her on as an artiste and firebrand, and for her to continue to encourage, inspire others. So no endorsements here. So Sarah, let's get a little, speaking about art, because I'm going to give you some shine. The question is, what was your first tattoo and why, and who tatted you?
Oh my God. Okay, so we have a saying, like, if you don't have a star tattoo, you were not getting tattooed in the 90s. So I totally have stars on my lower back. The wackest tattoo, so dumb. All my friends make fun of me for it. I will never cover that tattoo, because I was getting tattooed in the 90s when it wasn't that cool. I had to clean my boyfriend's house so I could use his house to get the tattoo, because I wasn't even 18 yet.
Now, did your parents or whoever, did they freak out when you got it?
I made my mom cry. She saw it like we were taking like an art class together, and we went to the restroom, and she caught a glimpse of it, and she was so mad. She was so mad. But you know what? I've tattooed my mom now.
What tattoo does your mom have?
My mom got a dragon fruit vine on her arm with like a bloom, and my mom, let me tell you, I have never been so nervous to tattoo someone. Tattooing your mom is a trip. I feel like if my kid ever wants to get a tattoo, that's only going to be the more trippy situation. So.
Oh, you tattooed mom. That's outstanding. One of the, I personally don't have any tats, but I am always fascinated by it because I'm a storyteller like you, Sarah. And every tattoo has a story, and it is always an interesting story. There's always something that goes on with it. And for when people put this artwork on the body, it is for a reason, and it is for, something that means, even if they find out, okay, it was $10 tat night in Fort Lauderdale, it's even that is amazing as well. So thank you for sharing that. So
I meet every type of person. I feel so grateful for my career and the opportunity it gives me to really sit down with individuals and get a little slice of their life. Like tattooing really is a scrapbook for the soul, and people tell their stories, happy, sad, everything in between. It's incredible. Some of the heaviest tattoos I do have to do with the loss of a child, and I don't ever want to know what that feels like. And you know, that's it like takes my words away, you know. It's like I think people who there's definitely a lot less stigma and judgment with tattooing now, as we have TV shows and everybody knows somebody with a tattoo, but there's still some stigma associated with it, and really it's lack of understanding. And I don't know how to help those people. They're judgmental jerks. So.
judgmental and not understanding just how significant. Yeah, I've heard the stories, people who brain cancer, breast cancer, and how they tat up their skull or their part of their body, and it helps them feel empowered, inspired, and encouraged. So I really have a lot of respect for artists in general, that help convey stories in ways that tap into ourselves that some of us might not be as be able to express. So we rely on the artist to help us through that. So I definitely see you in that. And about your artwork, now, is it true, don't you have your artwork like at CSUSM and a couple of other places? Where can people find some of the stuff that you're doing? And who's the guy hanging out? I guess it's to the right of you, to the left of me. You know, can you kind of show what you got back there?
So this is from the Reuse Project. So this is a group of Cal State San Marcos students coming in to the art space that I manage. And they are doing what's called the Reuse Project. And they were just at Hill Street Country Club in Oceanside, and now they're coming into the back fence space in downtown Vista. And they have created this entire installation in here, and it is so awesome, beautiful, and trashy. Like, I love it. It's totally my vibe, my aesthetic. I love when artists can create a message using everyday objects, and it makes you think about what you're using, what you're doing, and maybe you change a behavior, because there is like corporate responsibility. I think corporations can be doing more to reduce waste, but as individuals, we can do our best. We can always try to do better. So I'm not perfect. Like, we live in a world where everything is covered in plastic. It's really hard, you know. I do my best. I try as best I can. I hope that everybody out there is always trying to be better at that. So that's all we can do, is lead by example, right? And try.
Right.
So.
I appreciate that. And Venus actually has a couple of, we had earlier this week on our Reduce, Reuse, Recycle, we had Valerie Grant on the show. She's also one of these people that have been nominated for this NALBO award. And she shared a couple of recycling, reduce, recycle, reuse, some information. And Venus, if we can just go through that, because you never know, Sarah might know somebody who could use a grant. I'm all about, let's get people some money and let them know where they can go to apply right now. So Venus, can you just shed some light on some of the things we found out?
Of course. So first we have research grants, which I'll also be posting the links to everything that I'm going to be talking about in the comment section. So there's research grants for pesticides. We have the Habitat Enhancement and Restoration Program. And then we also have the Monarch Butterfly and Pollinator Rescue Program. And both of these two programs offer various grants, which I will post the link below. And then another one is the California Energy Commission Fund, the electric vehicle charging or hydrogen refueling infrastructure needed to support the large-scale conversion of transit bus fleets to zero-emission vehicles, or ZEVs. Multiple transit agencies are also providing different grants. And this is going to be due October 7th, 2020. So I'll also post the link to that grant below. So, you know, October is right around the corner. So check the grant, check the link, and apply.
See, we're gonna make sure that people know about these things. And as I always said on the other show, millweed, who knew? Plant it and have the monarch butterflies come to a house near you, you know, and create beautiful. I've always liked monarch butterflies anyway, but
Yeah, and you know, and that makes me just want to share, like, Only Losers Litter, our trash walk campaign. It started with a small grant of $500 from the Women's Club of Vista. And what did we need? Buckets, pickers, the capes, you know, a website. So really, you can do a lot with a very small amount of money. We are, you know, we've probably put in over 2,000 volunteer hours with our monthly trash walks. So you can do a lot. And now my city council has goals like litter abatement.
there you
Yeah.
go. And it just takes a small group. People think that change because this is a movement that we're in, Sarah. I mean, there's so many of us that have decided whether we decided to run for office or whether we decided to step up in a particular organization and help out. You know, this is a movement to shift our yes, locally, but also nationally. We make impacts with groups of people who get aligned and say, you know what, enough is already. I need a seat at the table, or I at least need to be in the running to let you all hear what the concerns are in the community. So I certainly have appreciated you and all the efforts that you are doing, but you hit the nail on the head. It just takes people to just do it.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta, you know what? 90% of life really is showing up. It really truly is. Like, you just start showing up, pick something. Go to your community safety commission meetings. Go to your regional waste meetings. Go to your arts commission meetings. That's how I became an arts commissioner. I literally just sat in a year and a half worth of meetings, and then they were like, oh, there's an opening. You should apply. I was like, okay.
That's awesome to hear. So we're also going to put Sarah's, if we haven't done it already, Venus, can you put all her Instagram if you want to look more of her artwork, if you want to look more about Sarah and what she does. Let's put all her links in the comments area. And Venus, did we get any comments or anything like that before we kind of sign off with Sarah here so she can make some more fabulous art and do what she does? Venus, I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah. No, the comments have just been me plugging links away.
Very cool. All right. That's Venus Johnson, everyone. She keeps our campaign running. So we want to thank you all for joining us, and firebrand Sarah Spinks there, and her husband, he's a rock star too. You know, he was out there. And if you want to find out more about Sarah, look at our comments, check her out, support her. If you're looking for that new tat to, you know, 'tis the season to start it off rocking before 2021. We're looking for a brand new year with a brand new attitude and a brand new administration and a brand new outlook on life. So be sure, log on to Only Losers Litter. Check Sarah Spinks. She has you have a website, you have Instagram, she's on Facebook. And Sarah, thank you so much for joining us on our Facebook Live for Reduce, Reuse, Recycle.
Thank you, and thank you for running, Kelly. I think I am just your campaign is awesome, and thank you for running, and I wish you all the luck.
Thank you, Sarah. So Venus, we're going to sign out Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.